Virgo, hi. So this is going to be a reading for the month of May 2025. And I'll do the reading for you and then I'll close it off with a oracle card. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended. At the end of the video, you can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. Let's see, Virgo. All right, the overall energy for the reading, the star. It could be something that you're pursuing at this moment in time where you set a goal for something and you're like, that's my only focus. That's where I'm going to be at. Could be that we're dealing with here. Now, starting off the reading, you get the Two of Wands crossed by the Six of Cups. There's a soul connection here that's on hold. Now, I don't know what the fuck that means. But it looks like it's been on hold and it's going to be on hold for a little while longer. In your focus, the Devil, there's something unhealthy that you're focusing on. Now, whether that's something unhealthy that has to do with you or with other energies, I don't know, but something unhealthy here. In the recent past, the Four of Cups, you seem to be upset about something, to say the least. In your Strength, the Three of Wands, you're being patient here. It's one of those in which, you know, when I said, oh, the soul connection is on hold, you probably responded something like, I got time. I got all the time in the world. Okay. In the immediate future, and you were sarcastic about it a little bit. In the immediate future, the Ace of Cups. Brand new beginning. Potential brand new beginning. In love, especially. In supporting this reading, the King of Pentacles. I feel like your focus is on the material, though. On your stability. Or that's where you're pulling me here. Maybe that's where your goals are being redirected. I don't think the focus is this. I think this being on hold, you're kind of like, okay, so I'm free to go focus on this, that, you know, whatever. In the energy that surrounds you, and you may not be aware of it, the Eight of Pentacles, something's building up. And I don't know if you're fully seeing that yet, or the results of that. In your hopes and fears, the Queen of Pentacles, a little more of self-care here, type of an energy is ideal from what you're giving me. In the potential outcome, the Knight of Wands, there's a nice ass energy moving your way. Okay, well, let's clarify. Let's do the star. The Seven of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the Five of Wands. You do have some goal here, like the ultimate goal. Like, never mind the little ones, you know, that you need to achieve in order to get to the big one. We're talking about the big one. The thing is, you've got all sorts of challenges. You got all sorts of energies pulling you away from that. I still see you pushing for your goal, but man, it's challenging. Okay. Let me do the Two of Wands, the King of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Seven of Cups. So many cups. It's almost like waiting for someone to make up their mind or something. I think it's you waiting for someone to make up their mind. You know, in terms of how do we proceed. Okay. Let's do the Six of Cups. The Strength card, the Nine of Pentacles, the Two of Swords. Yeah, again, you're coming in with this attitude of, I'm good. You take your time. Yeah, take your time. You're not good. You got the Two of Swords in there. You're good, but you're kind of stressed out. Okay. Let's do the Devil. Let's see what this is about. In your focus, the Two of Wands, the Judgment card, the Three of Cups. Okay, so you're not good. You may think that you mean that, hey, whatever happens here, you know, if I'm waiting for someone to make up their mind about where our path is going to lead, if it's going to lead anywhere, it is what it is. You know, the best outcome is going to come to the surface. What can I do about it? I have no control over it, so I'll let them choose. And you have a big ass expectation here. You're like, I'll let you decide, no pressure, nothing from my end, and whatever you decide is gonna be. And then behind that, you're like, but please decide, you know, for the best outcome possible here. Please do that. That's a huge expectation, and I'm not sure if you're necessarily seeing it. And if you are, you might be in the place of, so what's wrong with having expectations? You might be justifying it. You might be like, yeah, it's okay. It's fine. It's okay. Well, just like any expectation, what do expectations do? Set us up for failure. Because it's never going to be, even if it's going to be the best outcome possible, it's never going to be in the way you envisioned it or in the way you want it. So it places you in a little bit of a indirect place of control. Like, it has to be this way. Okay. Let's do the Four of Cups in the recent past. The Seven of Pentacles, the Magician, the Four of Pentacles. You potentially, because this is correlated with what's going on here, with what's starting to grow here. You potentially started to do something, to manifest something, to work on something in the past there. And you may have had a little bit of a setback, a little bit of a disappointment, a little bit of, I don't know if it's going to work out. Well, I see it picking back up, and not only that, but going in a good direction here. It's something that has to do with your stability. It's, again, something that you may have started a while ago, or at least manifested a while ago. And it's something you've been holding on to, at least over there in the past, quite tightly, like you believed in it. But I don't know what happened there. There's a setback for sure at some point. Maybe this, because you got to deal with this now. Who knows? For the Three of Wands, in your strength, you get the Six of Swords, the King of Wands, the World card. You're kind of also anticipating that by the time whoever this is going to figure out what they want and so on and so forth, you're kind of anticipating that it's going to be, you know, it's going to be taking them so long that you might not want this anymore when that time comes. So for right now, you do live in this big ass expectation over it, but at the same time acknowledging that, hey, you know, if they come back to me 5-10 years from now and say, hey, I made up my mind, I may not be there. You know, I may not be there for them to come back to. Okay, so there's all sorts of angles that you're looking at this from. For the Ace of Cups in the immediate future, you get the Nine of Swords, the Knight of Cups, the Page of Swords. There's an energy that's moving towards you, very slow, almost unnoticeable, but it has potential for something really, really nice. Now, the thing is, because it's moving so slow, it might be questioned. It might be like, well, how is this going to lead anywhere? Like that? No, probably not. I don't know. It's kind of left up in the air, though. I don't see necessarily a lot being done here. Okay. Let's do the King of Pentacles and the supportive energies. The Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant, the Six of Cups. Interesting. Keep on coming back to this. Like, yeah, you focus on your stuff. Yeah, you know, you're like, I gotta pull myself up and I gotta focus on whatever in the material, and but it almost feels like at any time this situation knocks on your door, you're there for it. You're like, yeah, that's the most important thing. So it's very redundant, because on one hand, you're showing up as at least trying to focus a lot on yourself and your sense of stability. But then if this energy, at the slightest knock at the door from this energy, you're gonna be like, okay, ready to go. Let's go. Let's do this. So drop everything. Which I don't know if you notice, that basically says that you would drop anything that you're doing for yourself. So you would drop yourself to deal with something that, okay, you're part of, but it's not necessarily for yourself, unless you anchor yourself in this expectation in terms of, well, I've been expecting for this to have the best outcome. But it's like, yeah, putting yourself to the side when something else knocks at your door. Let's do the Eight of Pentacles in the hidden energies. The Knight of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Two of Cups. You're getting some help. Remember that situation over there in the past that potentially started off, or at least the manifestation for it was there. You're getting some help with that from somewhere. So it could be picking back up. It could be picking back up. Potentially in a different form though. There's a teamwork type of an effort here. Or at least the helping part of getting it going. Okay. Queen of Pentacles, in your hopes and fears, you get the Page of Pentacles, the Sun, the Queen of Wands. I mean, that's the irony of it. Your top priority is yourself and learning how to put yourself first, at least. So self-love is very important. So put that in contrast with this energy that I'm seeing here. You know, you're doing something for yourself. You're at home chilling, and that's what you want to be doing. And it's like, it feels so good. And you've created this freaking amazing environment for you to be able to enjoy it, and you're doing it for you because you feel like you need that, right? The knock at the door. Bing! Forget about all that. Fuck that shit. Okay, let's go. Yeah, let's go. So on one hand, you are very driven in the direction of self-love. On the other, you would give yourself up in a second in the favor of something else. Not something else, just this, you know, which ultimately is something else. So not for just about any energy that knocks on your door, just this one. So when you show up in this one saying, yeah, take your time, yeah, no worries, and you believe yourself that you're so accepting and so flexed about whatever's going on here and whatever the outcome would be, think twice. Because otherwise you wouldn't jump at the knock of at the door. For the Knight of Wands in the potential outcome, you get the Five of Swords, the Hangman, the Nine of Cups. There's something super exciting showing up for you there. It's one of those instant gratification types of things where you're like, I can see you just going for it because it feels so freaking good in the moment. Now, what you're doing is, I'm not sure if you're going for it because it does feel good. And then you're like, I should have given this some thought before I jumped into it. Or if you're almost going for it and then last minute, right before you jump in, you're like, okay, I need to give this some thought. So I'm not sure where that energy places you, because I do see that instant gratification energy, and I do see it coming in with deception. And then I do see the energy of standing back. That's really going to be, you know, per case here in terms of some of you may jump right in there and then be like, shit, I should have given this some thought before doing this. Not to say that it's going to go bad. It's just how the energies show up. And then others of you definitely are going to feel like you're this close to jumping, and then you're like, hold on. You know, whatever it is, very appealing energy. I would probably jump in there too, because it does feel like it's coming in very alluring, very hard to resist type of a thing. So I can understand why you would feel the need to respond in a very passionate way. But from the universe, you get the 5 of Wands, the 9 of Wands, the Temperance card. You just want, you know, again, that safe space that you want away from this when it gets conflicting, when it gets too much. Again, you've been doing that for a minute. You're almost a pro at it. You're like, okay, when the shit hits the fan, I need to go. This is showing up again from the universe because it feels like it's an emphasis on that. It's a little bit of, like, it's important for you to have that space, for you to be able to determine when something is really not going in the best way, and to, you know, to create that distance that you feel safe at. So that's what I'm getting with this one from the universe. And I feel like you've been, again, doing it for a minute here, that you already kind of know that. I would say the actual energy that needs attention is the energy of self-love, you know, and how you would react to that knock at the door if you put yourself first, you know, from that angle. Let's do the Oracle of the Unicorns. Cycles. Everything has its right time. Honor the cycles of your body. Tune into the moon's magic. Okay. I knew it was right here. If something feels like it is not happening, don't force it. Everything has its time. Everything has its place. This situation will naturally come to fruition when the time is right. Whether it is a business project, a relationship, a journey, a contract, or an opportunity. This unicorn has come into your reading to remind you that we are connected with Mother Earth through the natural rhythm of cycles. The ebb and flow of the tides, the waxing and waning of the moon, and for women, the circle of ovulation and menstruation. Look at where you have fallen out of sync with these cycles, and to start working with the moon's magic to bring more flow into your life. Instead of allowing, instead of trusting, instead of always trying to push through life full steam ahead, allow yourself to rest, retreat, and acknowledge your body's call for gentleness. Then, when the moon waxes again, or after menstruation, you can get out there again and be provocative and more... Why? Do I have dyslexia? I may. Can you develop that when you... Because I've been thinking about it for like a couple of years. Then when the moon waxes again or after that, you can get out there again and be proactive and more social. There is so much magic for you to unlock in your life by honoring these cycles. Buy yourself a moon calendar or note down the different phases for each month. Live in the flow of cycles and you will experience the true magic of life. Anyways, that's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time.